Hello, everyone. Welcome back to what is supposedly a talk back of the episode. And here I am talking with one of the creators of the world of God Killer Qismat Arsene, who was the GM for the French episode, which I hope you will have seen by now. If you have not, I would just go watch it because there are going to be a lot of spoiler elements in it. So it's best you go watch it, and then if you want to come back to it, you can come back and talk about it. uh, Arsene, hello.
Bonjour, hello
Bonjour.
everyone. Sure.
uh, but man, I had such a ball editing your episode. I was wondering, uh, how could I, because I'm always a edit first guy. Like,
hmm
okay, how can I make it more engaging for the audience? How can I maybe shorten it up, quicken it up, slow it there and all, everything. But like I had told you guys, like, hey, uh, I would prefer a certain length to the episode, but if it's gonna take long, okay, just do it, but make sure you kind of like, stay true to your vision for your episode or your vision for your world, which I felt you did. Uh, and if we had, maybe a longer episode planned or maybe a longer campaign planned, we could have explored Bug more. But
Yes.
uh, tell me, how was it that you came to think of what Bug could be?
Firstly, I wanted to deal with a sort of more forest, more
Mm-hmm.
vegetation setting for a while now, due to
Mm-hmm.
different things I read where the forest was a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, plus when you said about Quaish, about Bag, the thing, oh yeah, and this I could do something really Garden of Versailles with it as an inspiration too. That would
Mm.
be one of the
Yeah.
main one that will really make this also a French episode.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that when it happened, I just came back from another city where I was on vacation
Mm-hmm.
when I visited a museum that had an exposition
Oh.
on death in our culture with
Okay.
I admit there were some things that really spoke to my humor, like the bench that were like a mini coffin.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this exposition from an artist. I still have the photo. I don't have the name anymore, but I sent them to you to as an inspiration. That
Yeah.
was really missing this life and death mixed together. This plant growing out of animal bodies with sort of subtle colors that I really enjoy. I really enjoy this art, so I also made it one of the sort of inspiration.
Mm.
And then the rest was well, with the thing you said, your team. All right, how do I interpret that in this world?
Yeah.
How do I make this interesting? For
Mm-hmm.
example, the idea is that okay, this is the goddess of order, basic, some sort of order.
Yeah.
So everything is order. This is not a thing that stray from the path, not a part of a leaf that goes over the zone it's not supposed to be in.
Yeah.
Like cut it, cut straight as a limit.
Yeah.
Really, be like everything must be perfectly arranged.
Yeah. Quite so, and like that's where like khwahish jazgiyeh's sense of beauty comes in. Like everything is in order. That's what beauty is, and that's
that
the
is
perfectness.
that is an inspiration of beauty that I took
Ye-
with me for because this is always a source that I like in an antagonist sort of book.
Mhm.
When there are too often we make the antagonist chaotic. It's more fun when they're order all the way. Sometimes.
Mhm. Um, Tell me a bit about the inspiration of the well, two things mainly of the gods. How they look, how they I mean the kind of people they are, the gardeners, as you call them, as well as the kind of structures. or like the architecture that exists in Bag.
So I can talk first about Twilight Appearance and the Gods. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a paradise
Mm-hmm.
and it was a garden.
Yeah.
That was the main part of this world.
Yeah.
It and what I took from paradise also it's an afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
So things could be more special. Um, one of the things that inspired me for Bard, this was sort of well, one part was from Persona 4. Um,
Oh,
one of the character personas is this nice lady with a head that is a sort of satellite. That was one
okay.
of the inspiration, body and the head is sort of one of the things that is a character from the MMORPG Dofus.
Okay.
That was a lion's, but instead of having
Mm-hmm.
fur, it was flower petals. Yeah, that was so I sort of mix these two concepts to have the face inside of the flower,
Yeah.
and because I like to be freaky, and also within Chainsaw Man, the gravity, the falling devil, that
Mm-hmm.
was with her head on top of the body, but
But
so
yeah,
that was why.
separated.
So that's why they separated, and there is this sort of stem that goes, and there is the head.
And I mean, like, Meghna did such a good job of the art with, I feel
She did.
like she was, I'm like, yeah, I'm so happy that like I brought Meghna on board, and she said like she hasn't had this much experience of with drawing vegetation, I think. I mean, she has done art for like a food game before, but not expressively like
So
dealing
much.
with vegetation and flowers and leaves and all of that sort. So it's
We
yeah.
we did all of us gods. We did not concert with each other, but it seems we had a lot of vegetation team.
Yeah, that's one thing because like literally every uh there was so many overlaps there are so many overlaps between the gods and like the worlds, like two of the GMs, they were like, I want an underground city. I'm like, huh, they're going to be two underground worlds. And all of them were like, we're going to have tons of vegetation. I'm like, huh, okay, interesting.
This was really the big image. We like all converge with. We like
Exactly.
vegetation.
It is like we want vegetation everywhere. I'm like,
Yes.
cool. I also like vegetation,
Yes.
but you know what? This is your world. I said, do whatever you want with it. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna force my hand and say like, no, but I want. No, it's your world. Planets can be different. They can, you know, develop in a completely different path, and which can just be like way too similar, but in a different way, I guess. I imagined. So when I saw the episode itself and when I was editing it, I I kind of imagined it like obviously full of vegetation, but also very solar punk in a way. Not with dealing with electricity, but in the way of kind of its design.
Designs, architecture that's mixed
Yeah.
with.
With the with the vegetation itself, and also I cannot thank you enough for two things. For one, for re-recording some of the things. Because hey, spoiler alert, this is kind of a above the table talk, what goes into production. When we recorded Arsene and Maripol together, we lost Arsene's video. We only had his
I
audio.
we don't know what happened. We
Oh,
tried with Riverside. We tried. We did not.
we tried with the backend team from the platform itself, from Wave Room itself, like to find a way to recover that because it had been recorded, but apparently not. Apparently it had been recorded, but apparently it didn't get recorded. I don't know what the hell happened. So that's why I mean, like, I could not risk it again. So I was like, I'm sorry, Wave Room. I love you. You're free. You do good shit, but I cannot do this right now. I,
No.
I cannot have this risk again. So I'm like, you know what? We can make this work. I was like, hey, this is a God who loves. artificiality in a way, or like
in a way.
not artificiality because like natural, but very some things in order.
Very
I'm like
controlled. That
very controlled. So hey, what could be more controlled than a PNG with an orderly background, a very symmetrical orderly background. So hey, that's
I'm
like
usually in PNG to go for. This was one of the rare times that I went with the Martian's face real camera,
and
and
hey, Qismat, right?
Qismat.
That's that's what fate had in store. But honestly, yeah, it was I was so out of it for a few days. I'm like, calm down, Aman, calm down, calm down. You can make it work. You can make it work. And that's when I consulted you. Like that's for the first thing that hey, I only need. Can you record these few lines? Because like I feel like
Well,
it would do
yes,
good. It would. I say few lines. It was like 20 lines. It
it
was
was
20
20
clips.
lines.
It was 20 clips.
20 clips, two that were for other things, and
Yes.
18 for my films.
Yes, and I'm like, can you please do that? And you were so gracious of like with
But of course, because I wanted to have some of my, because I was really physical in this performance too.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, it
I,
was. Uh, and I'm like, again, thank you so much for doing that. And second part, like, I'm really thankful for was you and the other respective gods as well for you guys helping with correcting the translations because I can never rely on technology for it because uh, working in post production, working with transcriptionists in English, even in English, there are so many incorrect
I
transcriptions which
mean,
are blurted out. So, thank you so much. And we did like, I think you did have to go back and check twice and thrice with the translation itself because even the translation got it wrong a few times.
there was something, well, also difference in languages are interesting.
Yeah.
And there are differences in the culture around language. So compared to English that tend to be more matter of fact, that tend to be
Yeah.
one word, one thing.
Yeah.
There were some ideas that were not lost in translation, but who sort of the potency decreased, shall we say, that they did not really put all of what was supposed to be transmitted in the original French. That's why I changed
Yeah.
some translation to better reflect the real feelings, the real things compared to what was automatically translated.
Yeah, I mean, like, because we dealing, I mean, I said that in the thesis as well, like, hey, you can be poetic if you want to a certain extent. And that's where translations like fail.
Translation doesn't work like
Yeah,
not automatic. You need a real human for that.
yeah, you really need a human because you need context for it, and that's something only a human can
Only
provide.
human can do.
Yeah, even I struggle with the Hindi translation because I was like, oh my God, this is not translating into English at all. Because
Yeah,
I'm saying something and it's translating it into something completely different. And I'm like, that's the
that's
exact
not what I
opposite
said.
at
That's
all.
not what. Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, that was a major challenge. But yeah, again, thank you for that as well.
no
And
problem.
also, thank you for sticking by the amount of changes and delays we went through.
No, I really like this idea, and once I was in, I would not treat like that. Like, this was going to work at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
we had another delay because it was not Marie Paul that was supposed to be at first.
Initially, yeah, it was Juicy Garland, who had to pull out of the series because of life reasons and personal reasons. I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Uh,
But
and
suddenly I received a message. Hey, do you know some?
yeah, that was like, hey, do you know someone? By the way, uh, but yeah, I had to go hunt for uh, like people, especially people whom like I can vet via certain people.
Yes.
That was like really important to me that I can personally vet them. And we got Maripol, who does not have like a lot of actual play or TRPG experience, but she did such a great job with Hans, and
Yes.
the journey Ron's goes through. Tell me, what was it like, building this world with her?
Um, I am a big improv guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't tend to prep something that much,
Mm-hmm.
but I still prep something because improv is built upon this prep.
Yeah.
And so I already had ideas for this. I already put some things in it. I shared them because it was already a point where basically the main ideas for the world was done, sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
So we had some discussion with her to
Yeah.
see about a character in this world, what she wanted.
Oui.
And when she chose to be the, no, I don't have the name, but a child of the god, I was okay.
Godling,
A
right?
godling.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you are Christ godling. Like clearly this would be the most interesting I said with all my GM smile of, oh, I can't wait to make you suffer.
Oh, it was yeah, that was a great choice, honestly. Uh
Yeah.
and that
Honestly,
yeah.
up to the it almost wasn't this crash that we could have gotten.
Oh.
Because right towards the end I had multiple versions of her and along the way that we played, the options sort of, and she should have still have been a better person, an other person that were less jealous about that.
Hmm.
But the moment, and this is spoilers anyway, so
Yeah,
watch the episode,
spoilers. Yeah.
when we meet the spirits
Hmm.
inside the tree, and well, this is edited, but you don't know how much longer I said, what? This is a deal. What can I take from her as a deal? What can I propose for this thing to, and suddenly, oh, she has gone for let's go for mortal mother. Let's go for, all right, you are obsessed with your divine parents. Let's take away your mortal parents. Do you?
Yeah.
And this was always a choice. She should have refused at any point. I would
Yeah.
have done something. She did, and that was the one. And when it happened, and we went up to the gates of her Christ Palace, and she had, I was, oh my god, it would be awful if Christ wasn't worth it all. If this wasn't worth it at all.
Oh yeah. And also, like, I love the depiction of the fey creatures inside the tree and the river itself. Uh, because I here's a spoiler. I did not I had not initially planned for the free creatures to exist in this universe. That was a very natural thing that came about as I was building it up with Assis. Um, and in fact, in episode 3, which is going to come next, that's the episode which was recorded before episode 2.
Because of something with schedules and all that.
Yeah, schedule, a
But
fucking schedule, man. I mean, I can't even, I can't,
uh,
where do I begin? But yeah,
actually, we can begin because of the schedule.
yeah, we can begin with, yeah, we scheduled this one. So, and I was like, hey, if you can find a way to I went to you guys like, hey, if you guys can find a way to incorporate this, it would be great. If not, that's also fine. But it's here if you want to use it, and it's here if Avance wants to like take this as an opportunity to go to the center of the galaxy, if she wants to, and them saying like, ooh, let me take the memories away of your mortal mother, which
Yes.
was like so deliciously evil.
I think when I really like the fair, I was also reading dialogue, so the fair from that this whole blue and orange morality, like a totally different wave of morality, wavelength,
Yeah.
trusted in morality,
Fair, fair.
where, and I really like when making this, treating the immaterial as an object.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
so that was my big for them. So, plus the thing, let's do them this sort of, because their sometimes can be nothing more cruel than a child.
Yeah.
In their innocence, they don't really know what they're doing. And
Mm,
sometimes they just that innocence is sort of purity. I don't really have to them, even if they do something that is for us adults bad.
yeah.
That's why I gave them this little, so
Yeah.
this really little, this little fairy sort of style thing. But fairies in some, I don't know if this is the case in your in the culture, but sometimes in the European myths, in the European folklore, of fairy are bitches.
Oh God. Uh, sure. I think kind of here as well, but I mean, it's all see. It's always the thing about they're the other in a way.
They're
Like
the
and
other. They're sort of alien to
yeah,
everything about that is alien to. They're a completely different paradigm from us.
yeah, and I think that's how usually people treat them. But like it all like I said like deliciously evil, but from a very GM's perspective, like oh
Yes,
evil GM. Uh,
yes, yes.
But
Oh,
what you said made a lot of sense. Like, hey, they necessarily don't have to have the same sense of morality that humans do. Uh,
no,
that does not make them wrong or evil. That's just like that's
that
them.
just makes them, and you
Uh,
deal with them as you can.
yeah, you can't really blame them because they just said like, hey, we can take you there.
They
You
just
can,
do what they do.
yeah, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and that's kind of something which you viewer you'll kind of see in episode 3 as well, kind of. Uh, we'll get more into that in episode 3, but before that, also, what did you feel about the ending of uh, Khwahish Desiree and once Once's choice of kind of staying back and you know maybe building a story or building up Bag again?
Well, I had no idea what ending we would get. Like,
Yeah,
because
must have put anything.
Especially in GODKILLER,
Yeah,
the game is a conversation. So this was
yeah,
with me and with Marie Paul.
yeah.
So I just gave a mostly, and that's why also it's the longest part in the rushes
Mm-hmm.
of this, because just the thinking about it, the hesitation, that was
Mm-hmm.
really good too. Because
Yeah,
I need to think of it. I like this moment. I need to think of it.
yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
just responded to questions with what I thought of about this version
Mm-hmm.
of Grey. Just all right, this is a situation. You have used your sort of power to divine in a way what is happening, what she
Mm-hmm.
wants you for. This is your choice.
Yeah.
Do you accept your fate?
Mm-hmm.
Do you let things happen, or do you do things just you do how you want?
Mm-hmm.
And she made the decision, and I just, well, let's follow through. And once we have this sort of controlling for these chains that are lost,
Mm-hmm.
well, of course, things can move forward.
Yeah.
Especially when you said the planets were already there before the gods.
Yeah,
They could be there after them too. You just need to take care of it.
absolutely. Lastly, I mentioned this briefly before, but the thought of, what the gardeners or what the gods, what they could look like. Um, what was the like kind of did you have kind of an inspiration behind like okay them looking like barks of trees, etc.
I wanted to really, the team was garden, so
Mm-hmm.
and vegetation. So I always had this theme in mind.
Mm-hmm.
There were some others that could have the children in the back of I had a sort of more big bad wolf character I could have
Oh,
met.
yeah. Oh, yeah, there's
That was also a servant that could have been interesting to me too. This
mm-hmm.
is how it happened. I had them in the bag if I need them to, in the little toolbox, and I just the
Mm-hmm.
gun because for me Trish was the queen. This was Versailles. She needed a court,
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, y- I,
and
yeah.
honestly, well, the main thing we really meet one sort of guard, one real sort of smaller
Joel.
guard, Joel,
Mm-hmm.
uh, was really the name chose for him because it's an old French word for jail,
Mm-hmm.
which gives us a lot of what this character is about. The thing where I there are some things that I like antlers. I like characters that have antlers on them. And I and in French,
Mm-hmm.
we don't the word for antlers is the same word for wood,
Oh.
like the wood, the forest. So and one thing I like to do is just take this thing literally, like okay, we call this wood in French, so it's made of wood.
Hmm.
Naturally. And just for fun, it's living wood that can still grow things.
Hmm. That's
For
awesome.
the others, the more guards that are made of bark, really, I wanted the inspiration was sort of the living statue. The thing. A bark is solid, is grounded, and is sculpted in a way. This is something that really was not more some not something that was born, but more something that was sculpted from something to give this to have this idea of really the ground that is there, planted, rooted, shall we say,
Mhm.
and really sort of to make them sort of different, more like creations, shall we say, in my mind, more like creations than real beings.
Oh. Uh, you also at the beginning of the at the beginning of the episode mentioned like once has been there for a while and she has been to like a few villages, a few cities of so I imagine like paradise as a living, breathing world of people actually living there.
Yes.
Um,
Well,
and I
of
imagine it
course they are.
and
People are there.
yeah, people are there forever. And I imagine it as a planet which is like almost like 10 times the size of Kelowna at least. Uh,
There are a lot of deaths.
yeah, because it has to fit more people in it, so you need like a huge kind of.
But thankfully, this is not something that. But thankfully, Trash had a way to deal with other population.
Uh,
This is a bad term, but she she has a hunger to fulfill.
yeah. Also, were there some things that you didn't get to go as much in
Much
the episode?
into yes. Mostly, this is something that also came in a bit in the pre-episode, like we did a little web
Mhm.
station of the
Yeah.
game, so that Mariupol took a lot from more than I expected.
Hmm.
And one of the things for me, the hunger, and also why she took the planet with the good people come in the afterlife, the paradise,
Hmm.
because the hunger was the event of a life, like the weight of of the life you lived,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
she took all those experiences you had and leaves you empty from them,
Hmm.
and that's why we didn't really talk about it. Because in the end, we didn't meet with a lot of mortals, shall we say, in this one.
Yeah.
But one thing of that bag is everyone living there are sort of a flower growing from them.
Hmm.
And basically, what Craig does is harvest these flowers to take everything it absorbed from the person. And
Delicious. Yum,
yeah,
yum, yum, yum. Uh, well, that's technically so the French episode ends there, but that's not technically the end of Bug or the end of Ron's. Because hey, at the end, Desiree dies, not Ron's. Spoiler alert! If you're here watching, why the hell are you? Uh, but if you are, hey, whatever. I won't judge. But Asen, again, thank you so much for GMing for this. Is there like anything that you want to talk about which I would have missed?
Honestly, I don't. I really liked recording the film because I could. I recorded also the vocal line because I did not want to the mute. I couldn't do it, but also like to rethink how the characters moved in a way.
Mm-hmm.
We do a sort of we do their voices.
Yeah,
Uh, like I said, really, we are. I use the camera. We use the camera. This is a theater. Right.
yeah,
Let's move. And when you move in a character, that also helps you play this character. Like
yeah,
Joel was really crisp,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Very,
Yeah,
very straight
yes.
up.
Straight, okay? And that inform or is that informing part how I play them.
Hmm.
This is really when you play at a table, or even if you only do a voice with no camera,
Mm-hmm.
do you use your movement to
Yeah.
inhabit it? It's that's why it jumps. It's sort of come easier in a way.
Hmm. And oh, what was I gonna talk about? I completely thought. Oh yeah, one thing I didn't get into. Have you done an actual play in French before?
I have played in some actual plays. I
Mm-hmm.
have GM'd one. We have some scene. The scene is not. We had the scene in French. Well, in the Beat Discord, I mean, of Euphoria,
Yeah.
there was another person that said that there is not really a big scene in
Mm-hmm.
actual plays. The biggest GTRPG channel in France are actual play channels. There are some. We have our own, shall we say, Twitch tutorial world sort of things,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still not the biggest side of things. There are some. We could do more and we could improve more. It happened some years ago, and the platform that we tried to create between all the happy
Mm-hmm.
characters didn't work out, but
Mm.
for one afternoon and into the evening, live stream multi-table in at the same time. Four tables at the same time
Mm-hmm.
that cut uh, and do a multi-table of this big battle in. That was one of, I think, one of better things the happy scene in France did. We have not reached this high yet again.
Okay.
We and I would like for us to do more project like this one is really good. I listen to a lot of APs in English that are doing something that I would like to see more. If I can shout out Tiny Tables that I really like, My First Dungeons that I really like too. Party of One is also
Mm.
great, and more people should just play, sometimes just one to one. And yes, there are people do it. I have friends who do it. I like them, but yeah, we have some we sort of see the same person a lot.
Yeah, I get it. I totally understand that, but I hope like we see like more of it again. But I think
Yes.
the biggest hurdle is subtitling and translation.
Yeah.
Uh, like we are working really hard to get it like at least in English so that everybody can, listen to it or not listen to it or actually watch it and read the subtitles of what's actually going on. Um, I know it's a really hard thing, but I feel like even if like one or two, or even if just one actual play in year comes out, that's still a huge step because like it's so English dominated. Even like I have to play
Yes.
in English all the time because even in India, not everybody speaks Hindi. Obviously, not everybody speaks Tamil or Telugu. There's so many languages in India itself that even when I go in real life to play, either by mostly D&D, like I have to GM or role play in English because
Yes.
it's a common language. But I feel like in actual play space, we have more
I
room to experiment.
yes, we have more. And I think it also depends in the countries. Like I have a Finnish friends that tell me that they have a lot of RPGs that are in English that
Uh-huh.
are not translated in Finnish.
Mm.
Actually. In French, this is we like to have our cultural exception. Quote. Um, so we tend to do more things in French.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of games that I like because when I discovered TTRPG, I went really quickly to the indie scene in
Mm-hmm.
English, where a lot of the world was and a lot of things happened.
Yeah.
So sometimes games I like, I really want to try, are only in English, and
Yeah.
it's getting better. But we are not known in French for talking a good English for this. So
That
sometimes I have to
yeah.
try to wait for translation, which sometimes can come late because
Very
like
late.
there is I mean Mark Borg is a big name in this scene. It
Yeah.
has a lot of influence. It is only now announcing a translation in French.
Oh, now.
Only now we have a publisher that has announced a month or something ago that they will translate Mark Borg. And it is one of the sort of big
Yeah.
it has become one of the there are a lot of atrophies, there are a lot of things of it. And this is the thing that I miss. I miss not having a translation of Dream Stew, Dream Apart, which is a really interesting game. The really start of Bob that I think we need. Don't have a lot of not on the main scene because the indie scene is connected. We have big names. We have Tom Martin that usually have games in English that are usually well received.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from ZD, we don't have big crowdfunding, big games that are diceless, big games that are GM-less.
Uh,
We I recently went into big solo games in the big scene thanks to a big publisher that decided to translate a solo game, so
mhm.
it enters. But sometimes I think we are the indie scene knows about this thing, but the main public doesn't, and for me it's a shame.
Yeah. I mean, like, I felt like the Mockbog was a surprise, like, as a surprise to me because, like,
Yes,
I feel like it would have been, I felt
it would
like
have been.
it would have been
Yes,
very natural for it to be like translated from
like
the
we
get-go.
don't Wonder Home and Yazebad have been success. We don't have them. We have someone that translated the playbook
Mm-hmm.
for them on each IO,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have an official things that for one of the big success that is mostly sold out anywhere. This is listen. On the other side, there are some that not really anger, but I since I play a lot and I sometimes they can take a while to come here. I
Mm-hmm.
usually do translating in English, so when the game is just finished translating, and suddenly a French person announces, "Hey, we will translate this game,"
Yeah.
I will
Here's my money.
here's my money again. But yeah, mostly the game from Horrible Guild, Wilder Fist, and now Wildbound that did that. The publisher will be the French publisher in France. They have a lot of contact with them. They decided to really go this way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's some are looking for the next thing, are looking information for games that they like. But yes, sometimes influential games can take a while to arrive, and sometimes games that are just personal preferences.
Yeah, a lot of times, like for translations, people have had to rely on fan translations or individual
Yes,
like translations. Uh,
because I want to play with my English phobic player for some games. But sometimes, like a smallish game, shall we say, Mouse Twitter is a little 16p. This is the rules are simple, easy to translate a character sheet for the player and explain.
yeah,
When you take a big game, uh, you don't do this on your own for your player usually.
yeah, like for example, Call of Cthulhu. Like if you want to translate the whole system, you're like,
Yeah,
yeah, no. That's
I will
what
do a lot for my player, but I won't do that.
I won't translate a whole book for them.
Yeah, no.
That's way too much. But Arsene, thank you so much for talking to me. Thank you so much for doing all of the things that you have done for Qismat.
No problem. I
And
love this. I love this project. Really.
thank you so much. And I will talk to you soon. And the rest of you who are watching, episode 3 comes out soon, where we once again meet Kala, played by Aziz. And we'll see what happens next. So until then, what do I say? Au revoir?
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au
I
revoir.
butchered that, but
No, it's not. Not close enough. Close enough.
close enough.